All right, folks. Hello. This is my first video of 2024, January 4th, Thursday. Uh, Late hours, end of trading day, certainly. It's 23:43 hours, right? So almost midnight New York time. And no, I'm not in New York. I keep New York time because that's what I trade. Anyway, um, weird thing happened to this video. I showed a bunch of stuff and then the image went crazy, so I had to stop and restart OBS Studio. Um, and I just updated OBS Studio, and updating it caused a new bug to appear, which ruined my prior recording, and I don't feel like doing the 20 minutes over again. So I'm going to get right to the point here, and maybe I'll be inspired and try to do a portion of the other one over. Anyway, let me just get to the point. I already drew these arrows. Darn it. Let me get rid of these arrows. Let me show you stuff. Okay. On this chart here, this is let's just jump into it. You see this NY in red? That's the New York close. Okay. That's the cash close. Anyway, that's the New York close. See this ETH here? These are extended trading hours. This means
Flow.
this is the start of Globex. And by the way, so this is the cash close, and then this is the settlement close over here, right? And then extended trading hours begin. Globex starts here. Then we had the TSE, the Tokyo Stock Exchange, and then we had the Hong Kong Exchange open here. That's why they're in green. Opens versus a close that's in red. All right, having gotten rid of some of the stuff on here, we can move on to what I'm trying to show you before it disappears off the screen, please. Okay, there. Okay, look, right here, because it just happened. This is live. This is not replay, folks. This is live. So I want to do this because it's already shifting. Okay, I want to point out that, and I want to point out this. These are two, um, whatever you want to call them, pods of liquidity. The green line, the green thing there, and the red thing there. Okay, 214 contracts in aggregate, sitting around 47, 43, and 272 contracts in aggregate, sitting at 47.25. Um, the interesting thing that I noted about this, and the entire reason for making this video, is that I noticed, oh, look at this. Those contracts are sitting exactly on a line I manually drew earlier. That's what caught my attention. It's that they're slowly trying to have, see, that just moved down here. So the contracts are shifting as we speak. But fortunately, they're back. Real time. It's shifting, folks. Anyway, they're trying to get price to capitulate back up to this zone. And so now the question is, well, what the hell is that zone? Why is that line there? How did that line get there? Okay, well, there goes again, you see. Anyway, I manually drew that line on there. That's the interesting part. Okay, and it's like, well, when did I draw that line on there? That's what we're about to find out. Okay, so on this screen, I'm now going to, on this chart, excuse me, I'm now going to do the arduous and tedious task of scrolling backwards on the damn thing. Okay, there's that line we're looking for, right? You can see that line. And we're going to see, like, where is the origin of that line? Where's the origin of that line? Okay, by the way, here we are. Here we have, that line is still, we're not at the origin of it yet. Let me see if I can get this to stop auto scrolling. But I wanted to point out that you see here, this is the LSE close, the London Stock Exchange close, the red line there. And I might as well show you this. Significance of the LSE close is that shortly after the LSE, well, right around the LSE close area, right before, they pulled liquidity. And when they pulled liquidity, I got to do this. When they pulled liquidity, we had a short signal take place. You see the dashed red line there? Anything that ends up going below there, it means short this thing. And that short ran that short ran, as you can see, all the way down to this line that we're trying to track. Okay, right here, you can see we bounced off that line that I drew earlier, much earlier, that we're now trying to track the origin of. So let's go. Let's just go track this line, and then we can mess around with other things later. Still scrolling backwards, trying to track this damn line. I'll just shut up now. Ah, okay, here we are. Okay, we had an event here at, man, when did this take place? Wednesday. This was from Wednesday at 15:54 New York time. So shortly before the close, because here's, get me an arrow again. Here's the New York close, folks, right? There's the New York close, and there's Globex, Wednesday night Globex. So so this is the regular session for Wednesday, all in here. And I identified some price activity here that I identified that we had large contracts hit there. I don't care about that, by the way, but in this VWAP area here, this bottom range of the VWAP, we had large contracts that hit right outside this VWAP edge, this VWAP band. And that got my attention, along with this indicator that you see here that's proprietary to my stuff. Tells me certain things that are happening with buyers, sellers. So anyway, so that caused me to draw a line extending this heavily trafficked area out further, and that was from Wednesday at 3 something. Let's just say 3:30 or so p.m. market New York time. Anyway, now look what happened with price action every time it touched that line. And the people in my Discord had, they had a view all day of this line because all the charts were being streamed to them, so they could take a look, and they could trade accordingly. Here's what happens. Price tries to move down, and remember, I'm sorry, I got to add one thing. This line it's not really, well, that sucked. What happened? Testing. I guess it's still working. That line is not really a line, it's a zone, okay? That's another thing, that it's a zone, so it's more like a couple of points up and a couple of points down. You're looking at a zone rather than a line. And it's, what happens to price action as it enters that zone. That's really what you want to look at. And you can see the price tries to come down to this zone again in here, and it takes off. And follow price, follow these stupid bars, right? Price goes up, makes a nice little high up there, comes down, doesn't go anywhere near the zone yet. It's chopping around, and then look what happens, okay? Remember, that line was drawn a lot earlier, and this is now 7 in the morning. So this is Wednesday Globex. This is 7 in the morning, okay? Again, price bounces off of that prior zone. Forget about the line, it's a zone. Drill that into your head. Price bounces off that zone. What happens afterwards? Oh, look at that. Price bounces off the zone again. Price bounces off the zone yet again, right? I hope you saw that. 2 places, right? Bounced off the zone here. Bounced off the zone here. Wow, this is really, come on, bring my chart back. I don't know what's happening with this. It doesn't like OBS. The update to OBS is really screwing things up for me. Okay, and then interesting thing is that we get another long indicator. We get another long indicator from the system over here. You can see the automatic dash dot line that it drew, this green long line down here. But anyway, price again makes it above our manually drawn line, and then look what happens. Same old thing. Another long. And then look what happens. Same old thing. Another long. I don't know how far that one went. Yeah. And look what happens. How many times do I have to repeat this? Another long. And look what happens. Remember, it's a zone, not a line. So you just want to watch what's happening with price over here. Another damn long. Oh, and also, let me move this so I can show you something else. Duh. Adjust drawing. Let me just move it out of the way. Okay, another thing that happened here is that the system said, hey dude, get ready for a short. Anything below the line, that red line there, let me extend it out for you. Anything below that red line there, it's going to be a short. And so what happens? There's your short. And what happens down here where, down where this other drawn line is, the zone line, right? Once again, same old crap. It's a long. How long is it? Let's see. Whoa, okay, look at that long. That just went like a bat out of hell, right? Way up there. But anyway, so now we have these two lines on here that we're looking at, and price do anything else worthwhile? I mean, that in itself was pretty worthwhile as it was. Um, Here you go. Again, it touches this other line that I drew from what the system generated, and here we have another long. System tells you, hey, anything below my red line here, you should be going short, pal. And there's remember, I'm a scalper, so I have no shame in making 2 points. There's a short opportunity, it comes back up here. There's a short opportunity, it tries to come back up there. There's a short opportunity down into this line. And then what happens? It looks like we have possibly a long opportunity. Let's see where it goes. I got to scroll. It goes to hell. It turns into chop zone here. So this would have been a stop out, okay? But it's like, I don't care. I lost 2 points with a stop out. Big deal. Um, this is all a chop zone. I think somewhere I know on Twitter I posted about the chop zone. I called it a chop sewage zone. And then what happened, folks? We again, oh, actually what happened is we got a smart voltic, not a voltic. We got a smart voltic short indicator here. And sure enough, that went down to, where did it go? Down to the other line that I had manually drawn. And then what happened? I mean, you can't make this stuff up. We bounce, we get a voltic short indicator, we chop sideways. It comes and revisits here. I mean, it's just going crazy. And then it's just garbage. We're entering into the chop sewage zone. I previously drew it there. Now I'm going to extend it out for you. So we already knew from this behavior over here that this is a chop zone, okay? So by extending it out, now that price reaches this chop zone, let me not trade. Don't trade the chop. Not this chop at least. I mean, you can, but you have to have a certain other skill to do that. That's not what this video is about. Stop scrolling, please. Okay, so let me extend the chop out. That's a nice thing of identifying chop early, which I do, and I post it for my crowd. They know, yeah, don't trade the chop zone unless certain criteria are met. So what happens afterwards here? We break out from this line down to the next again. Oh man, we break out from down here back up into chop zone, and then we go back down. I mean, the thing is that all this behavior was identified way, early, way to the left of this screen. All of that behavior was identified early. That's all you had to look for is what happens at the line. Here we're just going sideways along the line. And there's other things you can do to see what's happening, which my folks at least know. Like my folks would know, should I take a trade or not? Well, here you can see the B6. The B6 is going up, and then all of a sudden the B6 starts capitulating and coming back down. And B6 is now capitulating and coming back down. Smart Voltic is saying you should consider taking shorts below this bar. And sure enough, you know, we start going below the bar. We have the B6 capitulating, and boom, we go down there. Depending on how you're trading this, you may or may not take the long back up here. You may instead realize B6 is really tanking. B6 is going down, so I'm only going to take shorts. I'm not going to take that, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this as an opportunity to go short again. You know, use that as an opportunity to go short, use it as an opportunity to go short, etc. B6 is still tanking, but here we have a two diametrically opposing events taking place, which screw up the confluence, and that's that B6 is tanking, but the lob is stacking from the bottom to a higher position from below. Not to a higher position above price, but to a higher position below price, which means that stuff is stacking in a way that's trying to approach price at its current low. And that means that we possibly could have a price action that's about to be finished. We don't know. So anyway, all sorts of garbage dynamics happen, and oh, and now that I'm not at the end yet. Okay, but other stuff is happening here too. But you need to see that, like here, you have both B6 and you have the lob restacking. So when Smart Voltic says you've got a short opportunity here, you've got a really good short opportunity, and you already know that you're taking a short from this upper zone here, this line. I told you 100 times it's a zone. Why don't you believe me? Anyway, and where does that go? That goes to the system generated prior long zone. And what happens there? The damn thing bounces off of that. And what happens afterwards? We get a voltic short signal. I mean, so anyway, you shouldn't be taking that long because both the lob and the B6 are going in opposite directions. Well, here they are diametrically opposed, but you know, you're going to have some chop because these guys are diametrically opposed, and that's what's happening here, just having chopville. Until eventually the lob itself capitulates. B6 is still on a decline. System previously told you this could be the completed top for this little macro move here. This could be a completed top for the move. And then you start seeing that the lob is declining, so it's like, yeah, we should probably start going short if price starts capitulating. But what happens here? Price breaks through that prior long zone, and we go way down, and then at this bottom area, we get this signal telling us, hey, once once price is able to break above this line, you should consider going long. And here it breaks above. We get a smart voltic, not voltic, smart voltic short signal, sends it back down. We get tons of orders popping in here. All these red things, all these landmines going off, tons of orders. We got toxic orders against regular orders. Who the hell knows what's going to happen, especially when large orders start stepping all over each other. But, we've reached a low area here, and you can see that the lob, smart money, is starting to stack above price, uh, thinking that price is going to come up. They've loaded up inventory below, and they're stacking sell orders above. They're very happy to sell you inventory at a higher price at this point. So it's like, okay, that's a smart money. What's going to happen? Well, starts going up and the smart money starts releasing, blah blah blah, and that's where we end the day. There's this was the cash close here. How do I show you this? I'll just do this. This was the cash close here, and hello, copy and move. Okay, and this was the start of. Maybe I should do that. Hey, there we go. No, I don't want to do that. I just want to drag you. Okay, that was the cash close. This was the settlement close. You can again see how the damn thing just bounced off our prior lines, continues to do that. And then here's Globex, Globex opening, and this is where we are today. Notice how when I first started this video, okay, this green pot of liquidity that's sitting here was up here, which is the entire reason I did this video. Okay. Oh, now it's over here. It just moved again. So they're really trying to vie for getting price back up here, but they've got other stuff to contend with here. Someone wants to dispose of some more inventory. Actually, excuse me, somebody wants to buy up some inventory here before we start going up there. So it'll be an interesting thing tomorrow. I'm not too worried about what this thing is showing until until we have the London Open, and I dare not slide my other chart over here because that's how it crashed OBS. Um, Unfortunately, whatever current version of OBS, the upgrade has caused a new glitch in it. Anyway, that's what I wanted to show you. I know it may or may not be too interesting to some of you, but when we have a glob of liquidity sitting at an area that I previously marked, that's very suspect and interesting to me. It's usually not just coincidence. That's all. That's it. And as always, go away.